मूलम् अधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्.
Pranam sir, thank you so much for coming and joining us in this endeavor of us. This is a festival, PRANITWA 2. This is the second season. We have started the festival in July. We have been planting some around 100 trees in Kolkata. And this endeavor was to create an awareness amongst people to once more send the message through dignitaries like you that art and nature has an intrinsic bonding. We are having online performances. We have been, our troupe has been presenting a performance on Tagore, Child, Mind and Nature. And in this second season, we'll be having a few Margam items on the concept of nature. We are choreographing a few new pieces as well. We are very happy and honored and glad to have Shri Sunil Kothari ji amongst us today. Sunil Kothari is a noted Indian dance historian, scholar and critic. He is also former Uday Shankar professor at Ravindra Bharati University, Kolkata. Professionally, he has been a chartered accountant. He has received the Padma Shri Award in 2001, also received Sangeet Natak Academy Award 1995 for overall contribution to the Indian classical dance. He was awarded Kumar Chandrak in 1961 and Ranjitram Suvarna Chandrak in 2012. He currently lives in Asian Games Village in New Delhi. He has been the author of numerous books. I've been fortunate enough to read a few of them. He has been an example and he has helped a lot of learning for us dancers. Thank you so much, Sunil Kothari ji, for being here. We'll start with a few questions. These questions are all related to art and nature, relating art and nature. If we put it as nature being the cradle of art, nature inspiring art, how could you explain this?
When we look around the nature, painters would draw paintings. They would draw sunrise, they draw sunset. When musician looks at it, he feels very inspired to sing. And I remember that when our rishis must have seen the sunrise in the Himalayas, they must have been inspired to write beautiful Sanskrit shlokas. In the Veda, there is a reference to the dance of Ushas in the morning, Usha Sukta. And we find that right from the Vedas, when you take to Upanishads, Brahmanas, and various other Sanskrit granthas, shlokas, when we read them, we come up to the Kalidasas, Kumar Sambhavam, we come to Meghdut, we come to the play Shakuntalam. We find that all these are result of the inspiration of the nature. Nature, man has lived in nature from the very beginning. When the Srishti came into existence, from that time, he has been looking around and has been finding inspiration to depict nature in a multiple form. It can be play, it can be a dance drama, it can be a solo dance, it can be a musical evening, it can be a orchestrated music, it can be a musical dance drama, And in variety of ramifications, we have been able to see that nature has played a very important role. Yes.
Yes, definitely. So it is like nature has been the inspiration for all art forms, be it painting and sculpture and definitely dance and literature. And we are like, yes. And we dancers, or we take our example, or we take the literature, we take the text, and so it is actually a manifestation of nature. It is the manifestation of the views of authors that they depict, and that has been, and they have been influenced by nature. Okay, sir. And so the next what we wanted to ask and know is, nature has a rhythm in itself, a laya, and there is rhythm in every art form as well. If I take dance, there is a rhythm which is taken from nature. So this rhythm, how would you explain that it is similar, or how is it imbibed? How is the rhythm of nature taken in different forms of art?
When we start, as a matter of fact, when we watch the folk dances or the tribal dances, there is a rhythm. They all perform either in a circle or holding hands in a straight line or in a circle, and they perform according to rhythm. Rhythm becomes the fundamental way when they dance around. And then, as we often know, that all the classical dance forms which were systematized, formalized, have been inspired from the folk dances, and they are being codified. And once they are codified, they are becoming classical. And in classical dance form, as you rightly said, you begin with literature, then there is poetry, there is rhythm, there is music, and through the body expresses what the literature says. Body expresses through hand gestures, the facial expressions, through the eyes, and various angas and upangas, as they say in the Natya Shastra. The content is then being performed, and it becomes a classical dance form. For instance, we can take the form of Bharatanatyam. Now, when I think of Bharatanatyam, I'm reminded of our great scholar, Dr. Srimati Kapila Vatsayam, who recently passed away. She has, in her magnum opus, Classical Indian Dance in Literature and the Arts, has traced the history of Indian dance in a very systematic manner. There's certain methodology. It's a path-breaking work. She has done her MA and later on PhD under the great scholar from Banaras, Vasudeva Sharan Agarwal, who guided her for her thesis, Classical Indian Dance in Literature and the Arts, which speaks of the corresponding expressions, what we find in painting, in sculpture, in literature, in dance and music, etc. So as you know, the story of Vishnu Dharmattar Puran, where King Vajra is in dialogue with the Rishi Markandeya, and he expresses his desire to make a pratima. Then Markandeya Rishi tells her that if you want to make a pratima, you will have to understand basically music, literature, dance, painting, sculpture, architecture. All these are art forms which are interrelated. So the interdependence of the art and helping each other to formulate is one of the finest examples and an approach that Kapila ji in her book Classical Indian Dance in the Arts has taken. When I was looking at the Karanas sculpture which are carved on the walls of the Chidambaram temple of the 12th century, they are 108 in all the 4 walls with a Grantha script, which is the translation of the Natya Shastra. And the names of the Karanas are given. When you see the performance, you find that there is a shift position and there are triangles, like when you hold your hand up, then near your hip, then your shikta position, your feet are aramandi, etc. are being seen. Now these are codified, and this inspiration is directly from the sculpture. That the sculptor at that time must have been familiar with the practice of dance which must have been in existence. Because unless and until a living tradition of dance is there cannot be Shastra. Shastra can come after Prayoga. So Pratham is Prayoga, then the Shastra. And then we have one of the most wonderful tomes in Indian literature is of our Natya Shastra, which describes Anga, Upanga, all these body movements, etc., and how the expressions are being done. If you take the text of Nandikeshwara, Abhinay Darpana, which is a text entirely devoted to dance, and there are not only 24 hastas, Pataka, Tripataka, Ardhapataka, etc., but the Vinyogas are given. For instance, if you take the hand Pataka, it can mean the flag, but it starts with the explanation Natyarambe, Vari Vahe, Vane Vastu Nishedane, Nishayam Chandrika Ganatape, Khadge Vastadhar. Now we find that these are observations of the nature of the animals, the way the animal move. Therefore, the connection is directly built with the nature. With the waving of the flag through the air, the flag moves around. Then the movement of the river, and with the hand you show the flowing river, etc. So everywhere nature is connected. Then when you say Khadga Dharane, you pick up the sword from the, and then you say that Turange Khandane Vayo, the horse goes. The horse is depicted with the movement of the hasta, and the horse, power of horse is suggested. Khandane Vayo, Shayane Gamanudhyame, to sleep, to move around, to go. All these movements are beautifully described in the Abhinay Darpana. Abhinay Darpana also refers to all the 3 universes. It refers to all the 10 incarnations, all the grahas, 9 grahas, etc. Whole cosmos is being described. So we find that nature has given inspiration to all the artists, in particular the dancers or whoever wrote the text of Natya Shastra, and brought the emotions into also play. As we know the Rasa Sutra, Bhava, Vibhava, Anubhava, Sayogadhara, Nishpatti. Bhav, Vibhav, Anubhav, all these sentiments, when they are put together, then we ultimately relish what we call rasa, rasanubhuti. And then the dancer, when she is being trained by the Guru, in the beginning she only anukarana. She follows the Guru because there is the copy. Then she does anusarana. And then she follows, and then we find that the entire, even in Bharatanatyam, to take example, entire margam is come up, right from Malaripu, Jatiswara, Shabda, Varana, Vada, then Tillana and Shloka. So we find that a systematic dance mark is being established. It applies to all the dance forms. If you take Kuchipudi, take Odissi. Even in Odissi, we find the interrelationship of dance and Odissi is tremendous, to the point that we say that Odissi dance is a mobile sculpture, and the sculpture is a frozen dance. That is how we write about it. So it is a relationship that we have understood. The sculptors must have known and seen the dance form and given expression on the walls of the temple of Konark, Natya Mandap, and they must have. Now we find that these are important suggestions about the strong relation between nature and art. Even when you see, for instance, you see the Sanchari Bhavas, the improvisation when a dancer is performing, we find that in Kathak, if you take an example of Kathak, the great Guru Shambhu Maharaj used to sing a great tune. He was a great musician, singer. And he would sing about Kaun Gali Mein Gayo Sham, Bata De Dunya, Kaun Gali Mein Gayo Sham, to show Krishna by suggesting the black hair. My hair is white, but the black hair, and then parting of the hair become the gali. Kaun Gali Mein Gayo Sham. How interpretation done. And he says also that putting kajal that Krishna has gone and the people is become Krishna and white is Arjuna, he takes attar, inhales, and through the nose, God has gone inside into her heart. Now these are imagination which are boundless, depending upon the ability of a dancer of a stature of Shambhu Maharaj. Gokul Dhunti, Mathura Dhunti, Brij mein ho gayi Sham. I went and looked into Gokul, Mathura, and it was evening time. Sham is the one word. The pun is there on the word Sham. Sham is black hair and Sham is Krishna and Sham is evening. Now we see this enrichment, we always marvel. In most of my conversations, I have often referred to the Abhinay of Guru Keruchara Mahapatra, the great Guru of Odissi dance. He has taken inspiration from sculpture. And while choreographing the 24th Ashtapadi, Guru Yadu Nandana Chandana Shishira Karena Karena Payodhare, then having a beautiful intimate relationship. Previous night, Radha tells next day to Krishna in the morning, hey Yadunandan, kindly do my hair, put the flowers in my hair. And he sits there. And when Krishna is doing his hair, she sits in a beautiful position where in her finger there is a ring. In the ring there is a mirror. And then while Krishna is doing her hair, Krishna's reflection comes into the mirror. And she's overwhelmed again by looking at Krishna's image over there. Now imagine where was the stone, where was finger, where was the mudra, where was the mirror. As poet Eliot has said, that the mirror is the eyes. The eyes look so many things, and the multiple images come from there. And therefore, we marvel at the imagination of Guru Keruchara Mahapatra that he takes from the sculpture. Naika sitting there, Radha is looking in the mirror, and Krishna is doing his hair. There's another beautiful description of the Ashtapadi. Patati patatre vitalita patre shankitva udyanam. Krishna is waiting for Radha and he is preparing a beautiful bed. He is sitting under the tree. A bird comes and sits on the branch of the tree. By the weight of the bird, a leaf falls. Slowly leaf falls on the floor. Listening even the sound of the floor of the leaf, Krishna says, oh, has Radha come? Now where was the bird? Where was the tree? Where was the leaf falling and the sound? These are the imaginations, and these are taken from the nature. The trees from the nature, the vayu, the wind which comes from the nature, the leaf that falls from the nature, and the emotion of Krishna waiting for Radha, all are put together by the great poet Jayadeva. We find that there is an intimate connection between nature and art, nature and dance, nature and poetry, nature and music. Look at the wonderful music that when we hear the Jo Bhaje Hari Ko Sada, so Param Sukha Pavega, Bhimsen Joshi song, or when we hear Pandit Dasarati song, all these are Govinda and Namaha Vagare. So we believe that this interrelationship has been a great significant aspect of Indian culture. The interpretation and the reinterpretation of the complexities of Indian culture, as we find in the writings of Dr. V. Raghavan, Srimati Kapila Vatsa, Vasudisha Agarwal, and number of scholars, we find that in the Indian scholarship, not only the bar has been raised very high of the scholarship, but it gives us an idea that our art has so many elements together. It is spiritual, it is speculative, it is sensual, it is sexual. So many elements come together. A body, a physical body contains all these elements. When we talk of Shungara, we talk of Rati, we talk of love. All these elements also come. My very dear dancer friend Chandra Lekha, she used to say that there is sexuality, there is spirituality, there is sensuality in the body, and how can one cope up with this? How can one understand this body? And through her production called Sharira, she tried to depict all these things very beautifully. I do believe that dancers who are very gifted, like the one I gave reference was Shambhu Maharaj. There is another reference of, say, Birju Bala Saraswati. So in 1958, All India Dance Seminar, when I first time saw Shambhu Maharaj, next day when I saw Bala Saraswati, and she was singing, she was a great musician, she was a great vocalist, not only a dancer, but a great musician. So when she was singing Krishnani Begani Baro, so beautifully she sang Krishnani Begani Baro, that you could feel that Yashoda is looking for Krishna everywhere. Where is Krishna? In that hall of Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi, where the seminar was taking place, he suddenly began to feel that Krishna is running around and Yashoda is going after it. And then when he eats the earth, then Yashoda tells him that you can't eat the earth, open your mouth. Otherwise I beat you up. He opens the mouth and he shows the entire universe to Jagadannatha Krishna. Not only that, the story is also brought of Draupadi. That when Draupadi was humiliated in the court and Dushasan was trying to disrobe her, it was Krishna when Draupadi prayed, protect me, O Krishna, Jagadannatha Krishna. So Krishna came and by invisibly he gave all the endless sari and Dushasan was defeated and she was saved. Now these are wonderful Sanchari Bhavas, what we call Upajam in Kathak, Sanchari Bhav in Bharatanatyam. They're applicable to many, many dance forms. You can see it in Kuchipudi, you can see it in Satriya dance, which is the latest dance form which has been discovered. Then there is Manipuri, there is Kathakali, there is Kuriyattam, Mohiniyattam. So all these dance forms have, like which country can have, say, 8 classical dance forms? Ours is the only country. And we all know that even to master one dance form, one life is not enough. Then to master 8 dance forms is beyond one's reach. And beyond and above and over that also there is one, what we call modern dance. It's not only classical dance. We all know the great legendary dancer Shri Shankar. He created what is known as, he is considered the father of the modern dance. And he created wonderful the film called Kalpana. In the film Kalpana, we see how his body moves. The way he moves is like body and that, amazing. And then he also not only brings the dance of Kartikeya or beautiful dance of Lord Shiva in the Pradosh Tando in the evening, but he also brings stories of how contemporary time the mill owners, they exploit the labor class. And his wonderful film section of the film, Labor and Machinery, we find he also depicts also the opposition for the child marriage or the old men marrying young women and the children protesting against the British education. All these elements he has brought very artistically in the film. So the canvas is very vast. Besides the 8 classical dance forms, what we call is the modern dance is also there, which people like Chandralekha, Mrinalini Sarabhai, Modini Lakhya, number of people have extended the art, and the children of Uday Shankar, Mamta Shankar, Anand Shankar's wife, Padma Shri Shankar, even Amla Shankar, before she passed away recently, Amla Shankar, they all have carried this wonderful legacy of Uday Shankar. It was another very great, when you mentioned my name in the beginning, introducing me as Uday Shankar Professor, I'm grateful because when I joined Uday Shankar, Ravindra Bharati was the dean. He was the first dean of Uday Shankar. And Uday Shankar, we decided to give a name of the hall is Uday Shankar Hall. And then we also gave a name to Uday Shankar Street. Uday Shankar, his name is road near where he was staying. Now, these are the great savants of the country. If you think of Uday Shankar, you think of Ram Gopal, who did Bharatanatyam. You think of Shankar or Mrinalini Sarabhai, Indrani Rahman, Chandralekha, our great Rukmini Devi Arundel, who learned from the great Meenakshi Manam Pillai. Not only she learned from Mailapur Gauri Amma, and she decided this art form is a wonderful art form, and let us establish an institution. And she established Kalakshetra. With one student, her own niece, her youngest daughter, Radha Shriram, and Guru Chokalingam Pillai, who was son-in-law of Meenakshi Manam Pillai. He came to Kalakshetra. And she established systematically the learning of dance. That basically the adus have been divided into various sections. So 90 sections are divided. And also the Abhinay, the Natya Shastra, how to do the Abhinayasta. study of Malayalam, study of Sanskrit, study of Tamil, and literature, Quran, Sahitya, etc. One of the finest institutions in the world is our Kalakshetra. And the photographic work of Rukmini Devi, right from Kumar Sambhav, later on, the 6 dance dramas of Ramayana, Sita Swayamvaram, Ramavanaganam, Sabari Moksham, and the anime Mahapattabhishekam. These are marvelous productions with the greatest musicians who provide the music, marvelous costumes, etc. And wonderful, wonderful Tapovan-like place called Kalakshetra, where the new theatres come up now. It is based upon the traditional theatre of Kutambalam of Kerala. Now the new theatres come. Even to watch a performance there is like having a Ganga Snanam. It's a punya that when you go and watch Ramayana there, I never miss Ramayana when I happened to be in Chennai. It was such a pleasure to watch them. Now, with the present time of Corona, this is the only way we are meeting, like what you marvelously organized, this Zoom meeting. Yeah. And some of dancers are teaching dance also on Zoom and taking classes, and conversations are taking place. This is a good thing because we don't have to become pessimistic. You cannot go, you have to practice definitely, go on practicing. But the Zoom, your teacher can be from distance teach you. He can also guide you. And you are feeling like you and I are talking to each other, we are seeing each other. Similarly, with the Zoom, technology has advanced and you are able to learn the dance, etc. So even that inspiration has come from the nature. That we had television, we had, earlier, and then with cinema. All these technological advantages that human mankind has, man is also able to use them. And I'm sure that with the tremendous passion and the great hope that we will defy the nature even. Now the nature is taking revenge upon us because we exploited nature very well. So we'll defy coronavirus. And we'll bring again the happiness. Happiness that has come from the Zoom, etc., meeting, etc. Yeah. Very delighted that you gave me an opportunity to talk on nature and art, and we could all share our thoughts, etc. I would be very happy to also listen something from you. What do you think about nature and art?
Yes, actually, that is right. This was I am a little bit of a nature lover, you can say. But what happened was like in this pandemic, I am in a city. I live in Kolkata, urban place with lot of vehicles and as like normal city place. But what I realized and saw was within like 15 days to 20 days of the lockdown, when there was nothing on the road in the initial stages of the pandemic, that's what it was. I saw the sky go clear. I could see the stars at night, which I didn't see in the last, never in my life before. I saw so many different birds coming and, in my veranda, which like I never saw. I mean, I saw so many, and I saw greenery. I saw the temperature decreasing. This summer was not that hot and sultry as it is. And immediately this thought came like, what have we been doing? And nature is such a wonderful healer and a teacher. She teaches us continuously. She's warning us continuously that look at what you're doing, what you have done. We are just a microscopic form of this entire macroscopic world. We are nobody to continuously consume. We are just we are just a part of, we have to realize that humans are, we are a part of this entire system, and that what has been given to us, we should take care of this also. It is not just consumption. We have been using this and continuously utilizing this for our own benefit, which was not right. And it is something like we have taken everything for granted. We have taken this life for granted. We have taken, and we are always complaining. I was just thinking, yes, like we sometimes, maybe like we have a performance today. I will say, let it not rain today. I will pray to God, let it not rain and spoil my show. But this rain it might have like that rain was so important in the fields for those rice paddy plants to grow. So like we have been so narrow-minded, and that I don't know, I just, maybe this lockdown changed. I had the time to think a bit. In the initial stages there was this crisis where I couldn't I had the time, like we were all in a state like what would happen. I was really it was like my Guruji and everybody, people who were like never had time for anything, just all of a sudden was like lost for maybe a couple of weeks, like what to do. It was something, everybody running. When even the great actresses, and when it was like even the stars who have no time were all like at a halt for initial stage, like we were all.
Yeah.
And then we understood humans adapt. It is our that is why we are in the top of the ecosystem, because we adapt, and we adapted to this online measures and all that. But what I learned is like there is we have to understand a bit of this that we are part of that entire big thing. We are nobody.
Tell me something about your training. You studied Bharatanatyam?
Yes, I did. I did Bharatanatyam from Guru Srimati Thankamani Kutti in Kolkata. For like, I have been in the troupe for 30 years. I've been under auntie from my childhood, and we have been part of the Kalamandalam performing wing and all that. We have been teachers and all that. We are the senior most disciples of auntie. And then I have been like, I've been talking to Chitra Akka, Rama Akka, Saroja Vaidyanath, and I've learned under her. I like the styles, their spiritualism, their thought and approach. So I interact with them. I have attended the workshops and all that. And Piyalda, I've been with Piyalda for like that also, since he's from Kolkata. I've been with him. I've seen his productions and all, and he is my guide for my fellowship paper. I've just submitted my junior fellowship paper. So he was my guide. It is Bharatanatyam, it is the Varnam, the Abhinaya of Varnam, how it is linked with from the Natya Shastra, from the Samanya Abhinaya and Chitra Abhinaya. So that was my paper. So he was my guide. And not only that, I have seen his work and hard work and determination and his philosophy. I learned.
Bhanotsav, yeah.
Yes.
Bhanotsav, fantastic work.
Yes, and he was a dancer, and then he changed himself to now his studies, and now he's he's the director, and he is reviving, reconstructing Natya Shastra. I study a bit from him. I play the mridangam also. I learn from my Guru Ranganath. I learn from him. I learn Carnatic Tala, learning little bit of Tamil. All that is there. And I learn Kathak under, I have trained here initially, and then I go to now Kathak Kendra under Guru Pandit Rajendra Kumar Ganganiji. I learned the Jaipur Gharana from him. I have my own institution. I try to create something different like this also. Since this lockdown also, I thought of like doing something like relating nature and art. Since I'm an artist, I have to do something to relate it to art. But I thought of taking this example of nature. And so in the initial first season, we had this Child Mind and Tagore. We had this this production on child mind and Tagore, because Shantiniketan, he believed in the growth of the child mind in nature. So that is his reason of making Shantiniketan. So some songs from those, some passages from those, that was the theme of our production for the last season. And this time also we are thinking of doing something. So we have choreographed a few Alaripu, Jatiswaram, Atilana, Akautvam on different aspects of nature. We are trying to this Gaja Kautvam, we have named it, so it is on the elephant. And the shlokam we have taken from the Gita, we have merged it with the Alaripu, the Shollu, that shlokam of the Gita, which is on the tree. It is on the blooming, it is the growth of the tree. So that slokam has been merged, and we are doing that. And these all we'll be recording these pieces. And it is like that. And I will be doing that solo Akirtanam. That is on, we went to Mayavaram temple where Shiva came as the peacock. So there is yes, and that story was very nice, where it was written by Muthuswami Dikshitar, where he was in his penance and Parvati disturbed him. So he cursed Parvati to become a peahen and go to earth and do her penance there. And she said, "Ki okay, you do your penance and then I will come and again recover you." So she went to the Mayavaram temple. As a peahen, she did a hard penance. Shiva being pleased, he came down and then he became the peacock and they danced together in the mango grove together. And then he took her to Kailash.
Beautiful. Excellent.
Oh, yeah, that was a very nice piece. And while we were there traveling, we saw that scripture and then I thought of doing that. So I'll be doing that solo. This Kirtanam, this I'll do.
You have seen Rama Vaidyanathan's Mayura Lalipu, no?
Yes. Yeah, that is very beautiful. Ramaji will be like, last time she had given an interview. This time she will be, she has many pieces on nature. So 3 of her choreographies also will be telecasted in this. 3 of her disciples will be performing 3 different items on nature. 1 on the bird, 1 on the tree, and 1 on rain. So 3 aspects of, so that also will be there. Yes. So we are beginning on the 2nd of October. It will be every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is like that. So I will, sir, if you can, I'll send you the links and all.
I'd like to see that, yeah.
And please do see, and whatever, give suggestions, obviously. I have read your book on Bharatanatyam. It is still there with me.
Wonderful.
And yes, it gives a clear idea, and that, because there are so many books and there is so much of, in the history, there is so much of, diverse views from different scholars. There are so many scriptures and there's so much of literature. So, but it helps us, and I tell my students also to learn to read this book. It is there with me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your time. And I'll send you the links and all. Please do, if you have time. Please.
Convey my regards to PRG and all. Yes. It was a very great pleasure to meet you and know about your work. And I didn't know so much of work that you are doing, but I want to wish you all the best. Carry on your good work.
Pranam. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Pranam. Thank you. Namaste, sir.
Namaskar. Myself, Shankar Narayanaswamy, have a great pleasure and honor to be a part in the ongoing festival PRANITWA Session 2, which has been brilliantly curated by Srimati Jalsa Chandra, the eminent Bharatanatyam and Kathak dancer. Jalsa, along with her disciples, have been feeding the stray animals during the lockdown period, and when the deadly Cyclone Amphan struck Bengal, she again went around the city with her students in replanting the uprooted trees and putting new saplings for the future. In her effort to protect Mother Nature, she has asked her artistic friends and well-wishers to come forward and contribute towards the Mother Nature by asking us to plant saplings and trees, and also bring our creativeness in spreading this message. In PRANITWA Session 2, I am really pleased that Jalsa have requested me to do something, and I have conceptualized a production, or rather a presentation called Laya Ritu Pravaha, where the 6 beautiful seasons of Mother Nature have brought through the rhythm where it embraces the nature. Laya Ritu Pravaha is going to be presented by some upcoming and brilliant young talents. On the Mridangam, Vignesh Vishwanathan and Arunikanti Bhattacharya, 2 of my disciples, and the brilliant, multi-talented Shubhadra Kalyan was a disciple of Pandit Acharya Shankar Ghosh and Pandit Vikram Ghosh. Shubhadra Kalyan will be playing the tabla tarang and the tabla. Sri Tushar Ghosh will be on the effects and octopad, who is again a student of mine learning the Carnatic Tala and Mridangam. The recitation of all the 6 ritus will be rendered by Sri Joydeep Chakravarti. I'm really grateful to Srimati Reena Bhattacharya for helping us and guiding us with these beautiful poems of Rabindranath Tagore depicting the 6 ritus. The video has been handled by Sri Ravin Shankar, and the technical side is being looked after by Sri Kaushik Bhattacharya. So dear Rasikas and well-wishers, please bless these youngsters who are going to present a beautiful presentation, Laya Ritu Pravaha, where the rhythm embraces the flow of nature. Thank you, Jalsa and Nitya Kalangan, for giving us this platform, and we do hope you all enjoy this small presentation of us. Thank you. Please be safe and take care. Namaskar.
আনন্দ সাধনার পক্ষে প্রকৃতি মানুষের একটি বড় অবলম্বন। প্রকৃতি আমাদের সুখে দুঃখে আনন্দে বেদনায় ঘিরে আসে। হে ভৈরব, হে রুদ্র বৈশাখ, ধুলায় ধূসরে রুক্ষ টিন পিঙ্গল জটা যায়, তপক্লিষ্ট তপ্ত তনু মুখে তুলি ঈশান ভয়াল, কারে দাও ডাক। হে ভৈরব, হে রুদ্র বৈশাখ, নমো নমো। হে বৈরাগী, তপবহীর শিখা জালো জালো, নির্বাণহীন নির্মল আলো অন্তরে থাকে জাগি। নাই রসনায় দারুণ দহন বেলা, খেলো খেলো তব নীরব ভৈরব খেলা। আমি বৃষ্টিবিহীন বৈশাখী দিন, সন্তাপে প্রাণ যায় যে পুড়ে। ঝড় উঠেছে তপ্ত হাওয়ায়, মনকে সুদূর শূন্যে ধাওয়ায়। অবগুণ্ঠন যায় যে উড়ে। মেঘ কুমড়ি কুমড়ি গরজে গগনে গগনে, ধেয়ে চলে আসে বাদলের ধারা, নবীন ধান্য দুলে দুলে সারা। কুলায় কাঁপিছে কাতর কপট, দাদুরি ডাকিছে সকলে। গুরু গুরু মেঘ কুমড়ি কুমড়ি গরজে গগনে গগনে, ওই আসে ওই অতি ভৈরব হরষে, জলসিঞ্চিত ক্ষিতি সৌরভ রভসে। ঘন গৌরবে নব যৌবনা বরসা, শ্যাম গম্ভীর সরসা। গুরু গর্জনে নীল অরণ্য শিহরে, পুতলা কলাপি কেকা কলরবে বিহরে। নিখিল চিত্ত ভরসা ঘন গৌরবে, আসিছে মত্ত বরসা। আনন্দিদঙ্গ মুরজ মুরলী মধুরা, বাজাও শঙ্খ হুলুরব কর মধুরা। এসেছে বরসা ওগো নব অনুরাগিনী, ওগো প্রিয় শোকভাগিনী। কুঞ্জ কুটিরে ওই ভাবাকুল লোচনা, ভূর্জ পাতায় নবগীত কর রচনা। মেঘমল্লার রাগিনী। এসেছে বরসা, এসেছে নবীন বরসা, গগন ভরিয়া এসেছে ভুবন ভরসা। শতেক যুগের কবিদলে মিলি আকাশে, ধনিয়া তুলিছে মত্ত মদির বাতাসে। শতেক যুগের গীতিকা, শত শত গীত মুখরিত বড় গীতিকা। আজ তরঙ্গ কলকল্লোলে দক্ষিণ সিন্ধুর ক্রন্দন ধ্বনি, পানে বহিয়া কাহার বিরহ, লুপ্ত তারার পথে চলে কাহার সুদূর স্মৃতি। নিশীত রাতের রাগিনী বহি, নিদ্রাবিহীন ব্যথিত হৃদয় ব্যর্থ শূন্যে তাকায় রহে। চঞ্চল চরণ গেল ঘাসে ঘাসে বেদনা বেলে, তুমি চলে গেছো ধীরে ধীরে সিক্ত সমীরে। পিছনের পবিত্রিকায় রৌদ্র ছায়া যায় খেলে। চলো বলো বলো গিরি পর্বতে, এসো মুকুট পড়িয়া শ্বেত শতদল শীতল শিশির ঢালা, তোমায় মোরা করব বরণ, মুখের ঢাকা করো হরণ, ওইটুকু ওই মেঘা বরণ, দুহাত দিয়ে ফেলো ঠেলে। বনদেবীর দাঁড়িয়ে দাঁড়িয়ে শুনি গম্ভীর শঙ্খধ্বনি, আকাশ বিনার তারে তারে জাগে তোমার আগমনী। উদয় অচল তল সাজিল নন্দন, গগনে গগনে কণে জাগিল বন্দন, কনক কিরণ ঘন শোভন সন্দন, নামিছে শান্ত সুন্দরী। শরৎ বাণীর বীণা বাজে কমল তলে, ললিত রাগের সুর ঝরে যায় শিউলি তলে। বাসি তোমায় দিয়ে যাব কাহার হাতে, সময় যে তার হলো গত, নিশি শেষের তারার মতো শেষ করে দাও শিউলি ফুলের মরণ সাথে। তোমার নয়ন কেন ঢাকা, হিমের ঘন ঘোমটা খালি ধূমল রঙে আঁকা। সন্ধ্যা প্রদীপ তোমার হাতে, মলিন হেরি কুয়াশাতে, কণ্ঠে তোমার বাণী যেন করুণ বাষ্পে মাখা। ধরার আঁচল ভরে দিলে প্রচুর সোনার ধানে, দিগঙ্গনার অঙ্গন আজ পূর্ণ তোমার দানে। আপন দানের আড়ালেতে রইলে কেন আসন পেতে, আপনাকে এই কেমন তোমার গোপন করে রাখা। যাক অবসাদ বিষাদ কালো, দীপালিকায় জ্বালাও আলো। এলো আধার দিন ফুরালো, দীপালিকায় জ্বালাও আলো। জ্বালাও আলো আপন আলো, জয় করো এই তাপসীরে। শীতের হাওয়ায় লাগলো নাচন, লাগলো নাচন আমলকির ওই ডালে ডালে। শিউলি ফোঁটা ফুরলো যেই ফুরলো, শীতের বনে এলে যে, আমার শীতের বনে এলে যে সেই শূন্য ক্ষণে। আমলকি ডাল সাজলো কানাল, খসিয়ে দিল পল্লব জাল। কাশের হাসি হাওয়ায় ভাসি যায় যে চলে, উত্তরমায় জানায় শাসন, পাতল তপের শুষ্ক আসন। সাজ খসাবার এই লীলা কার অট্টরোলে। হে বসন্ত, হে সুন্দর, ধরণীর ধ্যান ভরা ধন, বৎসরের শেষে শুধু একবার মর্তে মূর্তি ধরো ভুবন মোহন, নববর বেশে। তারি লাগি তপস্বিনী কি তপস্যা করে অনুক্ষণ, আপনারে তপ্ত করে, ধৌত করে, ছাড়ে আভরণ, ত্যাগের সর্বস্ব দিয়ে ফল অর্ঘ্য করে আহরণ। তোমার উদ্দেশ্যে আবর্তিয়া ঋতুমাল্য করে জপ, কার আরাধন দিনে গুণে গুণে। সার্থক হলো যে তার বিরহের বিচিত্র সাধন, মধুর ফাল্গুনে। হেরিনু উত্তরী তব, হে তরুণ অরুণ আকাশে। শুনি চরণধ্বনি দক্ষিণের বাতাসে বাতাসে, মিলন মঙ্গল হোম প্রজ্বলিত পলাশে পলাশে, রক্তিম আগুনে। তাই আজি ধরিত্রীর যত কর্ম, যত প্রয়োজন হলো অবসান। বৃক্ষ শাখা রিক্ত ভার, ফলে তার নিরাসক্ত মন। খেতে নাই ধান, বকুলে বকুলে শুধু মধুকর উঠেছে গুঞ্জরি। অকারণ আন্দোলনে চঞ্চলিছে অশোক মঞ্জুরি। কিশলয় কিশলয় নিত্য উঠেছে দিবস সরোবরী। বনে জাতি গান, হে বসন্ত, হে সুন্দর, হায় হায় তোমার করুণা ক্ষণকাল তরে। এসো এসো বসন্ত ধরাতলে, আলো বহু বহু নবদান, আলো নব প্রাণ নব গান। আরো গন্ধ মত পড়ে অলস সমীরণ, আরো বিশ্বের অন্তরে অন্তরে নিবিড় চেতনা। আনো নব উল্লাস হিল্লোল, আনো আনো আনন্দ ছন্দের হিন্দোলা ধরা তলে। ভাঙো ভাঙো বন্ধন শৃঙ্খল, আনো আনো উদ্বৃত্ত প্রাণীর বেদনা ধরা তলে। নমো 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 নমো। বাংলা তথা ভারতের প্রকৃতি ঘূর্ণায়মান 6টি ঋতু দ্বারা আবর্তিত। গ্রীষ্ম, বর্ষা, শরৎ, হেমন্ত, শীত, বসন্ত, এই 6টি ঋতু প্রত্যেকটি নিজ নিজ রূপ বৈশিষ্ট্য নিয়ে আমাদের কাছে ধরা দিয়েছে। চক্রাকারে চলা এই 6 ঋতুর লীলা মাধুর্য মানবের হৃদয় পটে ধরা দিয়ে রচিত হলো কত কাব্য, কবিতা, গাথা ও সঙ্গীত।
Namaskar. So that was Laya Ritu Pravaha by this young musicians, all brilliant musicians, where the rhythm embraces the flow of nature. I'd quickly like to introduce to you this brilliant artist who participated in this wonderful presentation. Shri Subhadra Kalyan, a multifaceted musician on the tabla, tarang and tabla. Shri Vignesh Vishwanathan on the mridangam, another upcoming talent. Shri Aruni Kanti Bhattacharya, another upcoming talent on the mridangam. Shri Tushar Ghosh on the FX and octopad. Shri Joydeep Chakravarti, who recited all the 6 ritus brilliantly. We all of us would like to thank Jalsa Chandra and her Nritya Kalangan for giving us this opportunity in her ongoing festival PRANITWA 2. Thank you. Please be safe and take care. Thanks.